doors, there's two types available to you. You have a thicker slat or you've got a thinner slat. Now with the thicker slat, we normally use that on doors over 10 feet wide. So we'll talk about the smaller slatted door first and say this one, normally if you've got a single door, then this is the type of one which we'd put in. Now, as you can see, again, the door's going to go straight up and straight down. So the first advantage again is that you can park your car right as tight as you can to the slats, to the garage door. It's not one of these ones which can suddenly swing out in front of you. So with our doors, you have a safety device on the door. So again, if anybody is in the way of the door, if somebody hits there, the door's going to stop and go back up. So again, it's not going to wind up pile driving anybody into the ground. The other thing with the door is when the door is down, you've actually got an alarm on the door. So as far as the security is concerned, it's very good. If anybody tries to get underneath the door and jimmy it up, it's just going to set an alarm off. It's not a very big alarm, it's only about so big, but it's 105 decibels, so it will certainly keep people away or scare the heebie-jeebies out of them. With the door itself, again, you do have a little bit of a seal at the bottom of the door. Again, we tend not to say it's going to make everything completely watertight. We do have different products available which will certainly help if you do suffer from water ingress. So again, the door is going to be sealed all the way around, so drafts and leaves blowing in and debris is greatly reduced. And as you'll notice, when the door opens, it seems to just sort of open itself up before the whole thing goes up. And I'll explain to you why that happens in a little while. But looking at the sections of the door, this is the thickness of the smaller one. So it's designed to roll up nice and neatly. And with our curtains, you'll notice that they'll go past 90 degrees. They're not one of these ones which will go to about 45 degrees and suddenly burst open and you've got loads of problems. So again, it's a good, strong curtain. The other door, the thicker door, it's a much thicker curtain which is used, and that means that the box which it rolls up into has to be a bigger box. It's like a carpet. If you've got a thicker carpet, it's going to need a bigger box to roll up into. So that's why we tend to use this smaller one with a smaller slat in single garages, this one normally on double garages. But the door, whether you go for the single door or whether you go for the double door, the workings, the principles are exactly the same. It's straight up, it's straight down. This one's a little bit noisy because we haven't got, it's not obviously running in the garage, it's just freestanding. They normally do run a little bit quieter than this. Various colours available to you. If you're going for the standard colours, whether you choose the smaller slat or the larger slat, doesn't really make any difference on price. So this is the inside of one of our roller doors. Yours will come fully enclosed. You won't get to see any of this. So it's just really for demonstration purposes. Now, I'm going to be talking about a few things which you may think, well, surely they're all going to be like this, all roller doors are like this. They're not. There's a lot of variation in roller doors. Ours is a steel, it's a steel tube which everything rolls up into. Believe it or not, there are people out there who supply a plastic, looks like a plastic downpipe, to be honest with you. Ours are an all metal construction. It's a metal frame, it's a metal box, it's a metal top, it's metal here, the sides, everything is all metal. As I said, some people will just put a piece of plastic here and try and fix a little cheap Chinese motor to theirs. Ours are made by a company called Somfy, which is one of the market leading suppliers of motors and operators for the roller doors. The end of the door here, we actually have a proper sealed bearing in here. There are ones around which just have a piece of wood coming out of their plastic downpipe and it just sits on a U-bracket, and you know, they're an absolute nightmare. The door itself, again, there are ones on the market, and all they do is they get like a little screw and they screw this curtain straight onto their plastic pipe here, and after a while the screw falls out, the curtain drops to the floor, and your door is useless. With our system, we use these items here called barrel hangers, and what they do is they push the door down and back, so they're putting the tension on the door, so it keeps everything nice and neat. With these, again, because it's not, the curtain isn't being screwed to the downpipe, you don't wind up with a, you know, well, should I say, you do wind up with a thundering great big gap here, which just allows draft and everything to come in. But with ours, the barrel hangers are pushing the door down, keeping the tension on it, which stops the doors from rattling, and also keeps the tension on for the alarm system. Now you'll notice that what I've been doing with this one, I've been using the control board here. Again, it's another advantage with our system, is that we have a fully operational control board. So if you go into the garage and you suddenly think, I've left a remote in the house and I needed to open the garage door, you haven't got to go back into the garage. You can raise or lower the door all from your controls here. So again, you've got flexibility there. As far as the emergency release is concerned, in the event of a power cut, again, if you've got access to the back of the garage, all you need is you wind up with the old crank handle, and you're just going to, you hook it into here, and then you just crank the door up. So you're not going to be in a situation where you can't get into the garage. If you haven't got an external or another door to the garage, you can have an external emergency release. And all what happens is that the external emergency release is connected to here, and we go through the wall, and then from the outside you have a lockable cylinder. So again, you've got your security, you take the lockable cylinder out, you put a little crank handle in, and you wind the door up from the outside. The only thing I would say about that is that please keep the lock or the crank handle out of the garage. Don't leave that handle in the garage. Some people do. They'll phone me up and they'll say, right, I've had a power cut, I can't open the garage door. I'll say, right, well, wind it up with your crank handle from the outside, and they'll say, well, I've left it inside the garage, what can I do? Pretty much they wait till your power comes back on, because they are a very secure door. Our curtain goes right the way into the frame. It's not one of these ones which sits at the edge and all of a sudden bursts open. So it goes right the way into the frame to give it more support. It's quite a thick frame which we use. It's a 68mm frame which we use on the small door, and on the larger door it's a 95mm frame. What I was talking about here is exactly the same whether you're going for the large slat or the small slat. The workings are exactly the same. The other thing to look at with the door is, I don't know whether we can really see it, but in between each door we've got something here, and that just stops the slats from moving around. So again, it all adds to the rigidity of the door. So with the roller doors, again, these are designed to fit normally behind the piers. So it's going to give you the maximum drive-through width on your garage. We can fit them in between the piers like all our doors, so it's not an issue if you haven't got the space behind.